Hello and welcome back to Chance Myanmar. This is Unit 2 and we are going to be looking at a lot of things. We're going to look at the difference between formal and informal English. We are going to look at how you can share your ideas professionally. We're going to look at mastering the telephone and online interactions. So today we are going to look at the difference between formal and informal English. This is really important because if you use the wrong register, you could cause offence or you could be seen as being a snob. That's not good professionally. So by the end of this lesson, you should be clear about the difference between registers and you will be able to switch registers with ease. You will know a wide variety of vocabulary and phrases to help you switch. Let's take a look at the differences between formal and informal English. So, you should know that formal English is used in official situations. This might include presentations, speeches, meetings, and of course, writing. The sentences are longer and more complex. Let's take a look at this example. With formal English, phrasal verbs are not used. Remember that, very important. Now let's move on to informal English. So, informal English is used in everyday conversations and it's usually used with friends and family. You can use it with some colleagues as well. We do have something called semi-formal English, which is a fine line between formal and informal. Now, the sentences are usually simpler. Let's take a look at this sentence. Phrasal verbs are quite common with informal English. Consider these examples. Ask out is to invite. Check out is to investigate. Put up is to tolerate. Slang is used in informal English. It tends to be a lot looser than formal English. Let's have a look at these two sentences. She's just got a new job. She's just got a new job. Notice the contractions. There should be no contractions in formal English. She has recently started a new position. Notice the language changes. Let's focus on switching registers. It's important that you know how to do this because the situation you find yourself in is always going to be different. If you are too formal, then you could be considered a snob. Imagine saying to your colleague, "Would you kindly join me for a coffee?" I don't think so. It might be better to say, "Would you like a coffee? Do you have time for a coffee?" So think about that. You do not want to be a snob. Remember, there is always a nice way to say something. You have to think about who you're talking to and make sure that you are using the appropriate register. This depends on the situation you are in. So, formal, clients, presentations, meetings, speeches. But then for informal, colleagues. It depends on how well you know them. So question, do we use formal English in all business settings? What do you think? Let's take a look at some idioms. Some people think that idioms are slang, but they are not, and they are totally appropriate. And in business, you're going to use a lot of them. So let's have a look at them. Well done. You did great with formal and informal English today. Make sure you keep on practicing. That is the only way to get better with this. Before you leave, I want to give you some tips to take away. So let's have a look. Now, you need to remember that there is a fine line between formal, semi-formal, and informal English. In your interactions, if you are unsure, then you should use neutral and follow the person that you're speaking with. This way, you can't cause offence. Do not be over polite. Many students think that the more formal they are, the more polite they are. And remember my point about being a snob. It could get very awkward very quickly. You do not want that. And finally, Always ask yourself how well you know the person that you're speaking to. If you are meeting someone for the first time, like a client, or you're networking, or you're going through negotiations, then you need to speak formally. If you're in the office with your colleagues, then you can take a semi-formal and informal approach. You did great today. Thank you very much for joining this lesson. I hope I see you in the next lesson, which should be very, very interesting. We are going to look at how you can share your ideas professionally. I hope to see you there.